All right, boys, arm and shoulder day. So like I said yesterday, we're going to be swapping up a couple things. So instead of doing the seated overhead cable tricep extension, we're going to swap it for some JM press. And then we're also changing up the preacher curls, and we're going to be doing some elbow supported dumbbell curls. So we're just going to be doing this JM press here, and then I'm just going to grab some dumbbells and use this bar here as like an elbow support to do my curls. Yeah, so this is like the first time I've done the JM press, so I don't really know like what's going on with the form. I don't know the weight, so I fucked around for like 5 or 10 minutes on it, just trying to find like a decent form to where it felt comfortable. Just with no weight on it, and then I threw a 25 on both sides and messed around with that a bit, and I just threw a plate on here, so I'm gonna try and just like do a set and see how many reps I can get with a plate. I don't even know what my form looks like yet, because I need to like look back at the footage, and maybe I'll come in here tomorrow, and before I start recording my leg day, I'll fuck around on here with like no weight and just record with my phone to see how my form looks. But anyways, let's get into the first set here with 105 on the bar and kind of see how that feels. Okay, so we got 7 there. Like yesterday, we're going to keep the RPE a little lower than usual. I probably could have gotten like 9. So we'll have 105 pounds, 7 RPE of 8. Yeah, I think this is a good weight. Once I get that neurological adaptation with like doing this exercise, the weight's going to go up pretty quickly, and that's how it's going to be for every new exercise that you do, right? Once you kind of really lock down that form and your mind and body knows how to perform it, the weight will go up pretty rapidly. But we're going to rest up for a couple minutes here, go into the second set, and probably try and get around like 5 reps, similar RPE. All right, the rest is up for our first set, so let's get into the second set here. Like I said, we're gonna try and get like 5 reps, and it'll be around a similar RPE. Okay, that felt pretty good. Honestly, I'd say that was an RPE of like 7.5. I feel like I could have gotten, maybe 3 more. So we'll write 5 reps RPE of 7.5. I honestly probably should have gone for the 6th. That's okay though. We're gonna move on to the elbow supported dumbbell curls now. Okay, I just finished the warm-ups for these elbow supported dumbbell curls. A little bit of a concern is my quads are kind of getting in the way of the dumbbells here. But we're gonna try and do our first set here. Maybe I just gotta like move my legs forward to get my quads out of the way. But we're gonna try and get like 6 or 7 reps probably. Okay, 7 reps. Definitely an RPE of 8.5 there. Definitely getting a little difficult, but I probably could have gotten 2 more. I know I could have gotten 1 more. I might have been able to get 2 more. So we'll run an RPE of 8.5, and we're gonna rest up for a couple minutes and then go into our second set. All right, the rest is done for our first set. We're gonna go into our second set here. How many reps did we get? I think 7. Yeah, 7. So we'll try and get like 5 this set. And yeah, if I keep as long as I keep my like kind of legs close together and out of the way, the dumbbells aren't bumping into them. Okay, 5 reps, not bad. Felt pretty good. Yeah, probably around a similar RPE. I'd put an RPE of 8 that time. Definitely feel like I could have got 2 more. But anyways, we're gonna move over to the lateral raises now. Okay, we just finished the warm-ups for our lateral raises. And we're gonna start with our left side here. Now, unfortunately, we're going down 10 pounds since last time doing this. So we were doing like 50 before for like 8 reps for our first set. We're going down to 40. And we're gonna try and get like, I don't know, hopefully around similar rep range and keeping around that 8 or 9 RPE just so that we don't gas ourselves too hard. Okay, 8 reps, felt pretty good. Had a little bit of rep slowdown there on the last rep. Otherwise, I'd probably say RPE of 8 there. Probably could have got 2 more. We're just gonna rest for a minute and then go into our left side here. All right, the rest for our left side is done. So we're gonna do our right side now. And we're just gonna try and get around the same reps, 8 reps, similar RPE. Okay, we're gonna stop at 7. Didn't want to go for that 8. It was feeling like it was gonna be a little bit more of a struggle than I would like. But 7 reps, RPE of probably 8 again, maybe 8.5. We'll write 8. It was a little harder than the left side, but I think it's because I'm only resting like a minute in between sides, So, and that's just because my right delt is, pretty much all the muscles on your dominant side of your body are going to be a little bigger, which is why I always start with my left for everything that I do unilaterally. And then I only give it like 30 seconds to a minute rest, just, so that I can let my left side catch up a little more. Anyways, we're going to rest up for a couple minutes and then do our second working set on both sides. All right, the rest is coming to an end. We're going to try and get around probably 6 reps and then 5 reps on these next couple sets here. And yeah, similar RPE. I'm going to assume it's going to take me like at least a week to kind of get back to 100% where I can really be pushing to failure on every single set. I don't know. We'll see how it goes though. We'll play it by ear. Anyways, let's get into this second set here. Probably around 6 reps. Okay, we did 7 because it was feeling pretty good. So we did that extra rep. And we're just gonna rest for, same thing as last time, 30 seconds to a minute going to our right side. All right, rest is up. We're going into the right side here. Let's see, what did I do? I did 7 reps on that last set for the left. RPE, probably same, 8. And then right side, yeah, we're gonna aim for like 5 or 6 here with a similar RPE. Okay, that felt pretty good. Yeah, definitely similar RPE, 6 reps, 8 RPE of 8. Not bad. Okay, now we're gonna move into some, oh yeah, so we got the seated tricep pushdowns next, but I think I just got a new attachment, which I'll show you guys in a sec. Yeah, so I got a new attachment. I saw Jacob Ostreicher using this thing and doing this variant of a seated tricep pushdown, and it looked pretty sick, so I want to try it out today. And if I don't end up liking it, we'll just go back to the standard kind of seated cable tricep pushdown that I was doing before. But this way, it seems like a little bit better and less setup time too, which is great. So I'll get that all set up real quick. Okay, so I don't really know what to call these. I have them named in here as lat machine tricep extensions. No idea really what to call them. That's what we're gonna go with for now. But anyways, I just messed around with it for a little bit with some lower weights, just trying to feel it out and kind of get the form down here. We're gonna go into our first set here. We've got 60 pounds. So, and the reason why, I was able to do 170 pounds on that cable stack over there, as opposed to doing 60 pounds on this cable stack, is because this is a single pulley cable stack and that's a dual pulley cable stack over there. So that just means that it has a moving pulley, which halves the displayed weight. So realistically, the weight I was moving over there was probably whatever 170 divided by 2 is, like fucking, 90 or like 85, 87.5 pounds or whatever. But anyways, this is a single cable pulley stack, so it's gonna be the true weight of 60 pounds here. And I got this like tricep extension thing from Amazon. And the reason why we're doing this over the other one is because with the other one, we've got to drag a bench over and then we got to drag the bench back. But doing this, I literally just grab the cable attachment, put it on the lat pull down machine, sit backwards on it, and then the only thing I have to do after is clean up the seat. So, and that's not hard at all. So it'll save me a couple minutes on setup time, which is nice. But yeah, if I don't really like doing it, then, I'll probably just go back to the standard seated cable tricep pushdowns that I was doing before. But anyways, let's do our first set here. No idea what kind of reps I'm gonna get because this is the first time I've done this, but we got 60 pounds on the stack here. Okay, so we did 6 reps. It felt pretty good. I kind of wish that this was a little wider because I feel like I'm spreading my arms, or I have to spread my arms a lot, and it feels like a little awkward. I'd like to just be able to go straight down, but obviously, the thighs get in the way a bit. So I think I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit more and try and find a more comfortable form. Just with no weight on the cable stack in between this rest here. Anyways, yeah, we'll rest up for a couple minutes and then go into the second set. All right, the rest is coming to an end here for the first set. Yeah, in between the rest, I did lower the weight a bit and just kind of mess around and tried to feel this one out a little bit more. But it does kind of just feel a little weird. It's just this attachment. It just, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it just feels kind of awkward using this. It's like the cable rope, right? You know, at the bottom, you like have to kind of pull it to the side. So I don't know. We might go back to the other one next sesh. We'll see. I don't know. But anyways, let's get into the second set here. I completely forgot how many reps I got in the first one, so I'll have to look back at the footage. But I'm gonna assume we're gonna get like 5 or 6 this set. Okay, 5 reps. Yeah, I didn't really mean to go to failure there, but I did want to get that 6th rep. Yeah, we failed on the 6th, so that's okay though, not the biggest deal. It felt relatively okay. Anyways, we're gonna go do our reverse curls, and then we got the shoulder press after that. Okay, we got the cable reverse curls here. Last time we did 120 for 9 reps, but we're going down to 100. See how it feels. I don't know how many reps I'm gonna get, but we might increase the weight because this was an exercise that we were progressing relatively quickly on. You know, it was like 70 pounds, and then it was like 100 pounds, and then 110, and then 120. And then even at 120, we got 9 reps. So I'm hoping I can progress this one back up to around that 120, get up to the 125 or 130 area. But anyways, let's get into the first set here. We're gonna probably try and get around like 8 reps, maybe. I think we can probably get 8 reps. Okay, 8 reps was a good estimation. That was probably, an RPE of 8, roughly. So I definitely could have got 2 more. That's what we're kind of aiming for. So 8 reps, RPE of 8. We'll keep it at 100 pounds next set, and we'll try and get like 6 or 7. Well, we're gonna rest up for a couple minutes and then go into our second set. All right, the rest for our first set is done here. We're gonna aim for that 6 or 7 reps on our second set here. I was thinking about going for that 7th. Could have gotten it, obviously, but stopped at the 6. RPE of 8 again, which is good. Now we're going to move over to the shoulder press. All right, rest for our last warm-up is coming to an end. This exercise here we were progressing pretty good on. Last time we did 220 for 8 reps at an RPE of 9.5, and that's getting pretty close to maxing out this cable stack. This cable stack maxes out at 255, so getting close, but we're back down to 180, and it was feeling pretty heavy. I thought I could do like 200 for my working set. So, my first warm-up I did 120, second did 160, and then for my third I was going to do 200. But I went down to 180 because that 160 felt pretty freaking heavy. But anyways, we're going to do our first working set here, 180 pounds. This is a pretty heavy compound, so it's quite fatiguing. So we're going to try and go, pretty light on the RPE. Keep it around, you know, that 8 or 9 like we've been trying to. And I don't know how many reps I'll get. Like, I'm going to assume 6 just because it was feeling pretty heavy. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how many we get. Okay, 7 reps. RPE 8.5. 8.5. Definitely could have got one more. Might have been able to get 2. It was feeling pretty heavy though. So I think we're going to go down to, what was that? 180? Okay, we'll go down to 170 and try and get around a similar rep range of 6 or 7. But we're going to rest up for a couple minutes here, and then we'll go into our final set of the workout. All right, rest for the first set is up. We're going to go into the second set here. We decrease the weight from 180 to 170, and we're going to try and match reps around 7 reps. Okay, that felt pretty good. Yeah, I was getting pretty heavy. I'd probably say that's a RPE of 8.5, similar to the last set. Yeah, it felt pretty good. I'm hoping I can get all these numbers up quite a bit. Obviously, you know, it's been almost a month since I've done an arm and shoulder day, which is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, next session we're gonna mess around with the Smith machine JM press a little more, and we're gonna mess around with the lat machine tricep extensions is what I'm calling it a bit more, because yeah, those ones feel a little weird. I might just scrap that. Like it was something I just wanted to try because I saw an influencer that I follow try it and it looked pretty good. But based on what I did today with it, it didn't really feel that great. So I might just return that attachment I got off of Amazon and then just go back to the standard, you know, seated tricep pushdowns that we were doing with the easy bar there. Because I like those, and we were getting pretty close to maxing out the cable stack too, which feels pretty good. Anyways, let's go check out the pump. All right, so the arm and shoulder day is all done. So we're gonna strap this to the sweats like usual. Okay. Ugh. I really got to work on the posing, man. I don't really know, like, let's move a little closer, try and get a good thumbnail. Okay, biceps. Hey, keep showing me my preview camera. Still got a ways to go, but I'm pretty happy with how we're looking. You know, one thing though is I'm getting a little nervous about the ab visibility, because I've never had visible abs in my life. And I mean, like, you know, obviously we've still got like some fat on us, right? So it's not like I'm expected to see like fucking shredded ass abs. But I was hoping at this point, being 10 pounds lighter than I was when I posted my last video, that we'd have more visible abs, especially since I shaved all the hair off that was, you know, hiding definition. So Maybe I've just got poor ab genetics. Maybe I just need to train my abs more. But I'm hoping we can start to see some definition in the abs pretty soon here. I mean, you know, we've still got like 20 to 30 pounds to lose before I'm at the goal weight. So, you know, obviously there's still a lot of time here, but like my watch has been getting, like you can see my watch now slides on my wrist. So I guess my wrists have gotten smaller. On a lot of my jeans now, I have to wear a belt, or if I don't wear a belt, they fall, and then like my heel steps on the back of them, which is kind of annoying. I mean, it's annoying, but it's a good thing, you know, because that means that we're losing weight, which is evident either way due to the scale numbers. But you know, looking pretty good, feeling good about everything. I think I'm gonna start some, let's see, I don't really know how the weather's gonna be. I need to look at the weather, but once that UV starts getting a little higher, I think we're gonna start MT2, because I've never been tan in my entire life, and I wanna know what I look like with a tan so bad. So yeah, we're gonna get on some MT2. Shoulders looking good, triceps looking good. Left bicep, right bicep, a little bit of a discrepancy there. I feel like they insert differently, because I've got about, you know, three fingers here, and then only about 2 fingers here. So a little bit of a different insertion on the left and right bicep there. I mean, you can even see it. I feel like my left bicep has a bit more of a peak, and my right bicep just has a fuller look. So I don't know, that's a little strange. But kind of similar situation to the lats, I guess. Just kind of, they just insert a little bit differently. You know, maybe that'll be the thumbnail. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, I gotta move more over here. All right. Anyways, tomorrow's leg day. We got a lot of switch ups with the leg day as well. Yeah, controversial one, like I said yesterday, that we're going to be taking out. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, see you guys tomorrow.